April 20th, 1999, a date that is etched into the collective memory of a generation. At Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado, a tragedy unfolded that would not only shatter a community but would also fundamentally and forever change the way we think about school safety across the nation and the world. More than 2 decades later, the name Columbine still resonates, not just as a somber reminder of loss, but as a critical turning point in history. So, why do we still talk about it? Because the lessons learned in its aftermath are still shaping the security protocols in our schools today. Before Columbine, the concept of a large-scale, planned attack on a school was almost unthinkable for most people. School security often meant a hall monitor watching for students skipping class, or maybe a single security guard dealing with minor fights. The police protocol for an active incident was drastically different too. The standard procedure was to establish a perimeter, contain the situation, and wait for a specialized SWAT team to arrive and make entry. This strategy was designed for hostage situations, not for an active, ongoing attack where every second meant more lives were at risk. On that Tuesday morning, this containment strategy proved tragically inadequate. As law enforcement secured the outside of the school, the violence continued unabated inside. The first officers on the scene followed their training, but the situation was unlike anything they had ever prepared for. It became painfully clear that waiting was not an option. The delayed response allowed the attackers to move freely through the library, the site of the most devastating loss of life. The communication systems were overwhelmed, and there was massive confusion about what was happening, who was involved, and where they were inside the sprawling campus. In the immediate aftermath, as the nation grieved, a massive reassessment began. Law enforcement agencies across the country had to confront a horrifying new reality. The old playbook was thrown out. The Columbine tragedy directly led to the development of new tactics, most notably the active shooter response protocol. The new doctrine was simple and urgent. The first officers to arrive on the scene must form a team and immediately enter the building to neutralize the threat. The priority shifted from containment to confrontation. The goal was to stop the killing as quickly as possible, even at great risk to the officers themselves. This fundamental shift in police training is one of the most direct and significant legacies of Columbine. But the changes went far beyond police tactics. The very architecture and daily operation of schools began to change. Before 1999, most schools had open campuses with numerous unlocked doors. After Columbine, schools started investing heavily in what we call target hardening. This includes things like single points of entry, where all visitors must be buzzed in and checked by staff. It means security cameras, reinforced doors, and intercom systems becoming standard features, not luxuries. The simple act of entering a school became a much more controlled and monitored process. Emergency procedures for students and staff also underwent a radical transformation. The classic fire drill, where everyone lines up and calmly exits the building, was no longer sufficient. Schools began implementing lockdown drills. You might remember them: lights off, doors locked, silence, hiding away from windows and doors. These procedures, designed to keep students and staff secure within a classroom during an active threat, became a routine part of the school year. The language of school safety evolved too, with terms like lockdown, shelter in place, and active shooter drill becoming part of the lexicon for students, parents, and educators alike. The tragedy also shone a harsh light on the importance of information sharing and threat assessment. Investigations later revealed that the attackers had displayed numerous warning signs in the months leading up to the attack. They had written disturbing essays, created violent content online, and had even been reported to law enforcement for making threats. However, these pieces of information were not connected. Different departments and individuals held different parts of the puzzle, but no one saw the full picture. In response, the concept of a multidisciplinary threat assessment team became a national model. These teams bring together school administrators, counselors, psychologists, and law enforcement to proactively identify, evaluate, and manage potential threats. The goal is to intervene before a student reaches a point of crisis, providing support, mental health resources, and disciplinary action when necessary. This proactive approach, focusing on prevention and early intervention, is a direct result of the missed warning signs at Columbine. It marked a shift from a purely reactive security posture to one that tries to get ahead of the danger. Furthermore, Columbine forced a national conversation about youth mental health, bullying, and social dynamics in schools. While these issues were not new, the scale of the tragedy brought them to the forefront in an unprecedented way. It prompted schools to invest more in counseling services, anti-bullying programs, and initiatives aimed at creating a more inclusive and supportive school culture. The idea that a school's emotional climate is a component of its overall safety gained widespread acceptance. The focus expanded from physical security to include psychological safety, recognizing that a student who feels connected and supported is less likely to resort to violence. The cultural impact of Columbine is undeniable. It permeated movies, music, and books, sparking debates about media violence, gun control, and the alienation of modern youth. For an entire generation, the event redefined the school experience, introducing a new layer of anxiety into what should be a safe place for learning and growth. The psychological profiles of the attackers have been studied and debated endlessly, influencing how law enforcement and mental health professionals look at the profiles of potential attackers today. So, when we look at our schools now, the legacy of Columbine is everywhere. It's in the locked doors and the security cameras. It's in the lockdown drills that students practice. It's in the way police respond to an emergency call. It's in the threat assessment teams meeting to discuss a troubled student. These measures, now commonplace, were born from the failures and lessons of that terrible day in 1999. While no system is perfect, the evolution of school security since Columbine represents a monumental effort to prevent such a tragedy from happening again. It was a wake-up call that forced society to confront its vulnerabilities and to fundamentally rethink the definition of a safe school. The story of Columbine is a somber one, but its legacy is also one of action, innovation, and an enduring commitment to protecting our most valuable asset, our children. It's a constant reminder that safety is not a static state, but an ongoing process of learning, adapting, and striving to be better. Thank you for watching. If this topic is affecting you, please know there are resources available. You can reach out to a mental health professional or contact a crisis hotline. Your well-being matters. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the events that have shaped our world. We'll see you next time.